and a sustainable business model.
Demonetization, then we had COVID-19, then we had GST problems. But the beauty of this entire story was that they kept coming out of it. So situations will always be thrown upon you by the life. How you react to it is what is called resiliency. If you put down your sword and you say that, okay, I can't fight it anymore, then you can't withstand. The session started with a Nelson Mandela quote. अभी मूवी आई थी सुल्तान, उसमें भी वही कोट था, बड़ा पहलवान वो नहीं होता जो कभी गिरे नहीं, बड़ा पहलवान वो होता है जो गिरने के बाद भी उठ जाए, right? So the most important thing about resilience and entrepreneurship is a way of life. You have to learn to stand again and again in spite of whatever situations are thrown upon you. Because अगर आपको एक smooth sail चाहिए, तो entrepreneurship is not your cup of tea, right? जैसा अभी we just heard Mr. Vaidic talking about a comfortable and a cool life, having good pay package, and being there into your comfort zone, right? From there, if you're leaving it and अपना सर जाके दीवार में मारना है, then you become entrepreneur, right? Because now you have responsibility also. You have to overcome your challenges also. See, as a multinational employee sitting in a cozy chamber and only talking in the partner summit wherein every partner is eager to listen to you, it's a very comfortable zone. But right now he said he's a very shy person, and he's sitting on the panel and he's addressing a gathering of so many people. Now, if you are an introvert, if you are a shy person, it takes a lot of courage to actually get onto a stage where 200 eyes are looking at you, right? So, what is important is whether you want to be there in a comfort zone or you want to take risk, you want to take life head on. If you want to take life head on, get into entrepreneurship. That is point number one. Point number two, we are all discussing about doing the things right. Now, how will everything be right? It is impossible, right? You have to make things right. And how will you make things right? Only when you are passionate about your goal. So, what you need to choose is one particular activity. See, आज की डेट में जो career options available हैं, आज से maybe 30 साल पहले available नहीं थे when most of us started our careers, right? And we took a lot of effort to actually identify our own passion, that what are we passionate about, okay? So leaving a comfortable, cozy job and getting into taking all the responsibilities head on, जिसके अंदर आपका human angle भी है कि कोविड आ गया, हमें कुछ नहीं मिल रहा लेकिन हमने अपने एम्प्लॉयज़ को रिटेन करना है, या जीएसटी आ गया, ट्रक ड्राइवर्स और ट्रांसपोर्ट सबके सब अभी प्रॉब्लम में है एंड नोबडी इज पेइंग बट स्टिल वी हैव टू बी अफ्लोट. ये सारे चैलेंजेस हेड ऑन आपको आएंगे ओनली व्हेन यू आर लीडिंग द टीम. When you are an employee, this is actually giving you a reason for your failures. You are justifying your failures. But as a leader of the team, you cannot justify your failures. You have to stay afloat. So problems बहुत हैं, but वो problems आपको problem कब नहीं लगते? See, you have to understand, everybody, like अभी communication skills की बात हुई, that you must be able to communicate it well. अब entrepreneurship is about communicating your ideas only, whether it is to your employees that you're going to hire, whether it is to your customers who are going to put in into your business, right? Or whether it is to government that abhi mujhse tax mat lo because I've registered into the startup India, right? वो जो कुछ भी ideas हैं, you have to come out with your ideas. And when will you start spinning your ideas? When you believe in a particular goal. और ये हम सबको आता है. 2 साल के बच्चे को भी जब स्कूल नहीं जाना होता है तो उसको ये पता होता है कि पापा के पास जाऊंगा तो पापा विल से कि अच्छा ठीक है कोई बात नहीं रास्ते में ठीक हो जाएगा चल. मम्मी के पास जाऊंगा तो मम्मी बोलेगी बहाना कर रहा है. दादी के पास जाऊंगा दादी बोलेगी आज ये स्कूल नहीं जाएगा भाई. राइट. सो वी ऑल अंडरस्टैंड आवर चैलेंजेस एंड इट ऑल डिपेंड्स ऑन हाउ पैशनेट वी आर अबाउट मेकिंग आवर थिंग्स work. So life में everybody has to be a good salesman, everybody has to be a good entrepreneur, even if he wants to be a good human being. Because human beings live in societies and societies will actually work on ideas which everybody is buying, right? So entrepreneurship is a way of life. It is important. It is important for you. It is important for everybody. If you want a comfortable life, entrepreneurship is not your cup of tea. But if you are ready to take on challenges, entrepreneurship is the right way forward. And as I said, resilience and entrepreneurship go hand in hand. They are just synonymous to each other. You have to be consistent, you have to be persistent, you have to be resilient, then only you become an entrepreneur, right? And जैसा ट्रैक 1 का जो टॉपिक है दैट इज़ एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप इकोसिस्टम एंड सस्टेनेबिलिटी. आई एम एन एंटरप्रेन्योर वर्किंग इन इकोसिस्टम एंड सस्टेनेबिलिटी विच इज़ natural and which is important for all life forms on the planet, right? So I was also a corporate creature, IT guy, working in multinationals and having a very comfortable and cozy life. But from there, I switched into soil, water, and air, right? Why did I switch into this? Is because this is something which is really very important for all life forms. I mean, for me, just human beings are not my customers. Every insect, every bird, every plant, every animal on this planet is somebody that is going to get something out of what I do, right? But then जैसा अभिनव started with saying कि आपका जो addressable market है वो क्या है, you have to focus on that and don't think that the world is going to be your customer as in terms of they're going to pay for it. If they're going to benefit out of it, it is wonderful. अब if you want to understand कि हम resilience build कैसे करें, मान लीजिए कि ये जो ऑडिटोरियम है ये पूरा का पूरा ऑडिटोरियम हमारा मार्केट है, राइट? नाउ इफ़ यू वांट टू स्टार्ट अप अ बिजनेस विच विल नेवर फेल इन दिस ऑडिटोरियम, व्हाट विल यू डू? अभी अभिनव स्पोक अबाउट द स्टॉक मार्केट. स्टॉक मार्केट में जो रिटेल इन्वेस्टर है उसको लॉस हुआ, जो बड़े इन्वेस्टर्स हैं उनको प्रॉफिट हुआ बाय सेलिंग ऑफ पेटीएम और एनी अदर आर सो कॉल्ड क्या बोलते हैं उसको, यूनिकॉर्न्स, राइट? सो अगर आपको कोई ऐसी चीज़ करनी है जिसके अंदर किसी का लॉस ना हो तो उसका क्या तरीका है? द ओनली वे आउट इज मेक एवरीबडी अ स्टेक होल्डर, राइट? The bigger is the umbrella, the more people can come under and it will protect more people and everybody will see to it कि umbrella doesn't come down, right? तो इसको हम business में कैसे interpret करते हैं? Now we are a small company, right now, the entire organization of Vaidic Srijan is there in front of you. I'm here, two of my colleagues are there, and this is the only size of the company. But we are doing business across the country. Parallel projects are going on, and we are a member of Atal Bhujal Yojana, जो flagship project है Government of India का, which is the smallest mission mode project of Government of India, which is just 6,000 crores. Okay. Then we are a member of Mission Amrit Sarovar, which is about 75,000 crores. Then we are a member of Amrut 2.0, which is 2,99,000 crores. अब इतने बड़े बड़े प्रोजेक्ट में सिर्फ 3 आदमी की कंपनी कैसे काम कर सकती है? So the go-to-market strategy is very, very important. Our 100% go-to-market strategy is dependent on the partners, and we have partners across the country. IT industry से हमने in more than 2 decades of our life into IT industry, we learned the partner ecosystem. And by virtue of having a partner ecosystem in place, we are doing business across the globe through the partners, because every partner is doing business into his local area. अब अगर कल को यहाँ पे कोई प्रॉब्लम आती है तो वहाँ तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है ना. नाउ कोविड आया, नाउ इट्स अ वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग कॉन्सेप्ट. जैसे कृष्णन एक्सप्लेन दैट कोविड से उनको बेनिफिट हुआ बिकॉज एवरीबडी स्टार्टेड थिंकिंग अबाउट ऑटोमेशन, एवरीबडी स्टार्टेड थिंकिंग अबाउट रोबोटिक्स. At the same time, when you were there in a lockdown, just think about your own self, what you were going through when you were there in lockdown. सबके पास बहुत सारा टाइम मिला खुद के बारे में सोचने के लिए, to think about whatever is happening around. And that was the time when people started realizing that no, nature is much more powerful than human beings. आप अपनी लाइफ में कभी भी आप देखिए, in last about 20 years, we have replaced the word naturally with automatically. Okay, this happens automatically. Actually वो natural process है, right? So ये जो shift in thought process है, ये कोविड में आया कि नहीं भाई naturally भी कोई चीज़ होती है, right? Nature is way more powerful than what we think it was. So when nature has gained prominence, by default, it gave a boost to our business also, because we were talking about restoration of the environment, restoration of the natural ecosystem, and it is important for sustainability of life on the planet itself, right? So whenever we take this kind of an approach, the entire business model goes resilient and it goes sustainable, because everybody is a stakeholder. So I think that will be enough from me.
Thank you. I think Madhukar really summarized it well, that how not just running for profits as an entrepreneur is important to run the economy, but how do we ensure that the planet survives and there is something that each business gives back in the right direction for the overall growth of the ecosystem, planet, and the future generations. And it's not important that you have to do everything yourself. Through collaborations, partnerships, and finding the win-win in the same ecosystem through various channels and businesses is the key to survive as well. So with that, I think we'll open the discussion to any questions from the audience that they would like to ask the panel members here. And I would also like to share my own experience in the Sriram Auto Mall, that how the changes in the ecosystem and the environment post-COVID led to a lot of innovation in terms of technology adaptation and innovation in terms of new methods of doing business. For example, we were a physical platform for auctions, and now we also have the online and the phygital way of doing business, right? So These are some of the examples where we are also tying up with IIT Delhi, for example, to evaluate the prices of a vehicle. Right? That is the biggest question. And then how EVs are coming into picture, where the environment is taking the precedence, and importance of ensuring that the vehicle industry is not spoiling the environment. So the Auto Expo that happened recently should have been termed as, EV Expo, because most of the vehicles there and all the good brands are promoting the electric vehicle. So with that, I would like to take some questions from the audience, please.
Thank you everyone for the discussion. The house is now open for questions, and the best 2 questions shall be rewarded today.
Phenomena today. So everybody is going wrong because everybody is trying to postpone the problem instead of solving the problem. So whenever you think about the last smallest building block of the entire ecosystem, you will be able to solve the problem in a sustainable and a holistic way. So that's an approach of problem solving which you must adopt when you are thinking about a business which is having its own ecosystem and having its own sustainability. So I think that is very important. And one more thing which Krishnan started with was that tag of Made in India. What was most important about it is having a pride in what you're doing, having a pride in where you belong to, right? Like Dr. Halve in the morning speech, he said he belongs to Jabalpur, which is a small town, right? Just right now, Abhinav said that he belongs to a small town called Varanasi, right? Now, this is a very, very humble approach. This is our tradition that we are very humble towards our origin. If you look at Jabalpur, it was the army headquarters for Britishers. It has been the biggest city of Madhya Pradesh, and it was the most prominent city for almost 200 years in the entire state of Madhya Pradesh, right? Why it was not made a capital and Bhopal was made a capital, it has a political story behind. Because that was the first city which chose Subhash Chandra Bose over a candidate who was supported by Mr. Gandhi, right? So there is a political turmoil which underplayed the importance of Jabalpur in Madhya Pradesh. Again, Varanasi, it is the cultural capital of the country, right? The next SEO summit is going to happen in Varanasi. So if you have your pride in your origin, in your own story, then everything will fall in place. That gives you that motive, that gives you that passion, right? And everything will start falling in place. Now, another very, very important aspect which Abhijit spoke about is the ethics, right? Where will ethics come from? Ethics come from the culture. Now, if you look at our culture from entrepreneurship perspective, it is the most rich culture in the world. Because business basics तो हमको घर में ही सिखा दिए जाते हैं, right? मतलब when I was in my teens, when I used to go to buy some sabji bhaji in ghar, so whenever my nani or dadi used to be there, they used to tell me, beta, वो लेना जो सुंदर, सस्ता और टिकाऊ हो. Now just imagine, this is the Bible of product management. पूरे वर्ल्ड को ये आर्ट नहीं आता कि एक ही प्रोडक्ट जो सुंदर भी हो, सस्ता भी हो, टिकाऊ भी हो, राइट? अगर वो टिकाऊ होगा तो वो सुंदर नहीं होगा, अगर वो सुंदर होगा तो वो सस्ता नहीं होगा, right? In fact, after 10 years of completion of Whirlpool's operation in India, the global CEO of Whirlpool came in and he gave one statement to the press that India is the most difficult market to operate in. Because here people want not just product, not just service, but also the price. In Europe, when you're giving a good product, which is beautiful product and a high quality product, and you are delivering a right service, people are ready to pay. Here, people think that it is your job to service. Why should you increase the price? Because we understand business inside out. That's the way to be, right? In last about 2,500 years, India has been the most invaded country in the world. Before that invasion, India used to command 75% of the global GDP. Just imagine. And just in last 90 years of British rule in India, Britain as a country got bankrupt thrice and was rebuilt on the Indian money. And it is the British historians who say that Britain owes more than $47 trillion to India. How did it all happen? Because India was a land of entrepreneurs. Everybody was wanting to innovate and invent and export. We were the global business hub. Because we never ever invaded a country and still we contributed 75% of the GDP. We were the knowledge capital of the world because people from other cultures used to come here in India and learn their own culture from India. Okay, so the sustainability ecosystem, everything comes from the building blocks, ethics, and feeling that pride about your own origins. I think that would summarize everything.
Yeah, well, thank you. Well, that was a great walk in the history along with a lot of learnings from the real life experiences. And very quickly, I would like to also think we are good to close the discussion. I would really like to thank my fellow panelists for all their wisdom and sharing of knowledge. And I hope the audience enjoyed it. Sure. And Madhukar thinks someone wants to ask a question. So, yes, if we can pass on the mic to the audience. Oh, now there are like a couple of questions.
Good afternoon, everyone. It was truly an amazing panel discussion and so much to learn from. So my question is that while developing a company, how do you focus on satisfying the needs of the team and the consumer simultaneously while also focusing on the overall growth of the company?
Your question is to whom?
Anyone. Open to anyone.
Okay, so that is a tricky question. And if you get an answer to that, which is an accurate one, do let me know. But I'll try to kind of, tell you my bit what and how we have done and what we have done, to kind of create a balance between the two, the team's happiness and customers' happiness at the same time, because customers want team to work 24/7, team doesn't want that, right? So what we have done is, it is important to set expectations right. I'll give you a very small example of what Flipkart did beside Amazon. Amazon was being in the country and then Flipkart came in, and how Flipkart took over in terms of their customer experience was there was simple tactics. That simple tactic was, if you see what Flipkart did was, they used to say that they would deliver something in 3 to 4 days and they used to deliver in 2. Right, this was something which was done very intentionally by Flipkart, because what you have done is you have set expectations here and then you have delivered here. Say that you will deliver in 3 days, deliver it in 2, right? So that is exceeding the expectation by putting the expectation of the other person on a higher side than what is actually required, right? So this is what we also as a company have done a lot of times. If there's a software that can be delivered in 2 months, we intentionally take 3 for that. Right, now customer has signed the bond, my team still has 2, but even if there is a 2 weeks of delay, the customer is happy because we are 2 weeks early. Right, so that is how but a lot of times we as an Indians, because of the way we have been brought up, we tend to overcommit. Right, the biggest thing is, even if your mom or dad would be calling you at home ki kitchen mein aana, you would say 2 minutes mein aa rahe hain, and that 2 minutes is kabhi 2 minutes nahi hota. Right, so we as an Indian, we tend to overcommit on stuff and under deliver, which we have to change in order to create a balance between customers' expectation and our team's expectation. I hope that makes it clear. Yeah.
Good afternoon, panelists. I am Vaibhav Gupta, and my question is to open for you all. And on the basis of one example quoted by Mr. Madhukar sir, that you told us an example of umbrella. If I am a founder of a company, I am holding a stick of my umbrella, and I increase my umbrella size and include all my stakeholders in it. So there are chances that my stakeholders will definitely not let the umbrella down, but there are chances that they want the stick to be held by them, or a stick of the umbrella to them. They will told me that you're not holding the umbrella right, and they can collectively harm me and can throw me out of the umbrella itself. So my question basically is, what can I do that I hold the stick of the umbrella? Along with that, I can benefit maximum people under my umbrella.
You're talking about the Steve Jobs story.
Yes.
See, ultimately, it is what value you bring on the table. That is something will decide who holds the stick of the umbrella, right? Steve Jobs was thrown out of Apple and he was brought back, and Apple again became the news of every town, right? So it was the mettle of Steve Jobs that made it happen, that even your summit started with a Steve Jobs quote, right? So वो पिक्चर देखी होगी आपने, 3 Idiots. कामयाबी के पीछे मत भाग, काबिलियत के पीछे भाग, right? कामयाबी झक मार के आपको फॉलो करेगी. So the important is, what is the value that you bring on the table? If you are the one who is making the umbrella sustain, everybody under the umbrella is going to support you. Leadership comes as a quality, and that is not something which is to be inculcated. That's basically there. मैंने इसलिए जब in the previous session I said, if you want a comfortable job, don't get into